Morning, everybody. Today's Tuesday, the 29th of December. I just want to give everybody an update on the SolarWinds, Microsoft, and every other company, government agency fiasco. So, as you all know, CrowdStrike was listed as a company that Microsoft Azure, a reseller, was compromised and tried to gain access to the CrowdStrike email system, but CrowdStrike listed or stated that they are not a Office 365 email customer. They use Office products, but not that and the licenses. So that reseller was compromised, even though many months ago there was another breach of Microsoft, and Microsoft mandated that all resellers use MFA, multi-factor authentication. So it sounds like this reseller didn't do that. So everybody and their brother is trying to get access to this reseller. CrowdStrike, big company, probably a big reseller. Could be anybody, SHI, CDW, NTT, any of these big companies. So it's anyone's guess who this reseller is. So I even shot an email out to our rep at CrowdStrike and waiting to hear back and see who this reseller is, because that reseller is going to be in trouble for not following the rules, since but there's probably other resellers out there that are not as big as this one, and they're going to have to answer, have they been breached. So that's the case for there. So luckily CrowdStrike was not an email customer. They could have been breached had their email read if something could have happened, but luckily it wasn't. But this is going pretty far. So Microsoft is recommending that you look at your Active Directory, Azure Active Directory information, your Office 365, make sure MFA is enabled for yourself, and also your who has access to your environment. The resellers, VARs, partners, whatever you want to call them. They need to make sure that they have the proper security in place, so that way nothing can get compromised. I mean, no guarantees, but look at SolarWinds. This is all third-party stuff. I've been teaching seminars that you have to pay attention to the third parties, because they're the ones that are the small companies that don't take care of their house as well as you do. And you have them in there, and they're in there for months, and they get breached, they don't know it, and they get piggybacked. So the other part of this little fiasco news, to switch gears a little bit, is so the government agencies, the U.S. government agencies, are being very quiet about this. They're not, what are they doing now? Have they shut down their SolarWinds server? Have they patched them? There's the first patch for the Sunburst. There's a second one for the Supernova. What are they doing? Then you had the Senate lawmakers that last week, I think it was on the 18th or somewhere around there, they sent a formal request to the IRS asking if, what's the status of their SolarWinds systems. They haven't answered. They just refused to answer. The Treasury's been compromised, so who knows what's going to happen with the IRS. I mean, it's I don't know how they can just not answer. They've been formally requested to answer this information, and they are not answering, which is just ludicrous. So, with those items, that's what's going on right now. So this SolarWinds, they're trying to bury it and make it go away as quickly as possible, but it really shouldn't go away. It needs to stay in the news so we can figure out, how bad this is going to be, because, there could be other payloads that are sitting there waiting to detonate and, activate later on. This has been going on for months. So this is a huge embarrassment for the United States, and, somewhat, they deserved it. They've been cocky, and, we can do whatever we want, or put our assets all over the country, all over the world. They got the Stuxnet, that they kind of gloated over a little bit. And then they have, other things they're doing. And, now they, had something that was sitting in for months, sitting in their environment. And so it's, just par for the course. You got all these security people in the government, and watching eyes, watching everything, and it just walks right in. So anyway, just get that out there that the Microsoft reseller, it's probably not just one reseller like they're stating. It's probably multiple resellers, and how deep these tentacles go into customers. So they had multiple ways they were able to get into everybody's environment. Office 365 admin, Azure admin. Make sure you have your MFA enabled. You have separation of duties. You have your regular user account, your admin account, admin machine or server that you're using. Probably should be running Windows Core. Your domain controller should be running read-only at the edges. You should be throwing your critical assets all over the place. Make sure you got all your Azure servers don't have public IPs. What do they need them for? If they're just doing internal work, make sure you have Express Route or some sort of VPN that you don't access everything from the internet. But more on that later on how to set up Azure security. But just thought I'd get that out there, and let me know if you like this video. Please share this out there, and I appreciate you guys watching and listening. Have a good day. Thanks. Bye.